Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Faiz Asraf. I am a student at University of Jember. I am computer faculty and I major in technology information. Let me tell you a story. So yesterday, when I write my report card with my friends, I wrote specifically about waterfall SDLC. When I researched about it, I think that it's kind of interesting. Yeah. Why does people mostly use a method called Agile rather than using the method that I researched? Waterfall. So that's why I'm going to tell you why. Before we go to the presentation, there's going to be a few parts in my presentation. I'm not gonna say like uh let's get to the first part or let's get to the part. I'm going to get to the point immediately. So the first part is going to be what is SDLC. The second is going to be why is SDLC is important. The third part is going to be what is Agile, and the fourth part is going to be why most people use Agile rather than using other method. So let's get to the first part. What is SDLC? Well, SDLC, or you can call it a software development lifecycle, if it's simplified, a process. If it's a little bit not simplified, the structured process. Basically, it's process. As simple as that. Obviously, when making software project, you want it to be as planned as possible. It's not like when you're making a project, you're not gonna make like a design first and then you make the code, right? You're going to be making the code and then you're gonna design it. So that's why SDLC, that's what SDLC is. And then why does SDLC is important? Well, to be honest, the reason why SDLC is important is because you want it to be as on point as possible. You want it to be as efficient as possible. You want it to be uh, match your budget. You want to deliver it on time. You want it to be matched with what the customer want, right? So that's why SDLC is a first step on making your project success, your software project success. It's a first step. That's why SDLC is important. When before you choose and before you choose the method of SDLC, there's a few things you need to think about. There's a lot actually, but the main thing you need to think about is your budget, your time, and uh, your how many member team you got, and how big was the project is. And depending on the four of that, then you can choose your uh, SDLC method. So, but the most people use right now is Agile. So let's talk about it. What is Agile? Agile is specifically made to be adaptive and flexible. Why is that? I don't know either. But it's the main sell point. The main sell point of this method, its adaptability and its flexibility. For example, uh, in waterfall, you can't actually for example in waterfall, in phase one, for example, you make the design first. When you make a design, in waterfall, uh, you can't make it half asset. You can't stop at the middle. Like this is a half product. This is the half product. This is not the final product, but this is the half product. In waterfall, you can't do that. But if it's in Agile, you can do that. topic, and then uh, is it good? And then, oh, it's good. So it's good enough now. For now, it's a good enough. So we can go to the next phase. So it saves times. Then it also save budget. Why so? Why so? Agile is saving budget, more budget rather than waterfall. Doesn't waterfall like since it's the perfectly perfect the phase one since doesn't it going to be perfect and doesn't it more budget? You're kinda right. If it's that's what you think, you're kinda right. Well, it's actually uh more harder more harder than you think. Let's get to the next example. The next example is, let's say you make your project is fail at the end, and then you're going to fix that. Uh, if it's agile, when you're making a mistake at the end of the project, you don't need to start from the beginning again. You can start where you can start from where the mistake is. For example, like in the middle or anywhere. It's different with waterfall. When waterfall, there's a very high percentage on you need to start again from the beginning, and then that's going to take a lot of money and take a lot of time too. That's why mostly, that's what S- SDLC is. And why does mostly people use SDLC instead of other method? For example, like waterfall, there's what I explained before. It's adaptive and it's also flexible. It's really used. It's really easy to use. It's modern. It's a modern method. And because of the its flexibility and its adaptability, mostly people use that. So there's a survey at the 2020 website called Version One. Do a survey. There's probably like 3,800 people that's uh, participant that do the survey, and 90% of them use Agile in their project. And they start comparing that when like comparing the waterfall and comparing the Agile. So when making a project, a small project, Agile is ahead of waterfall, like probably like 20%. Yeah. So Agile have like 39 percentage of your project to be success. And that's why uh, people mostly use it. Example, uh, it's like when the customer want to make changes in the software, you don't need to be you don't need to finish the every page before like for example we already done the page, right? The page is already done. uh if it's in Agile, you can immediately go back to the phase to the that phase to match what the customer want, since the customer want make changes, right? If it's in other method like waterfall, you can't go back to that again. You need to finish the product first, or you can go start again from the beginning. That's why waterfall is not flexible. That's why most people use Agile since it's very flexible. So, uh, the conclusion is, uh, if you want to start making a software project, I really recommend you to use Agile since it's adaptive and it's flexible. Uh, maybe that's all for me. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Uh, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi